Well, hello and welcome to the Brantley Bank Coaches Show hosted by Vaughn Forest Church, where we talk all things Pike Road Patriots football with head football coach Ed Rigby. My name is Adam Bishop. I serve as the host of our weekly Brantley Bank Coaches Show, the pastor here at Vaughn Forest Church. So, Coach, good to see you again. Welcome back.
So good. It means Friday is looming.
Oh, that's good.
It's looming on the horizon. And as all the viewers know, the worm is turned, and it's gotten a little chilly.
So good.
It feels
like
awesome.
football weather.
Oh, yeah. We were out there this morning, and it was like 54. You know, I sent the kids a message and remind, hey, here's the temp at 8. And you would have thought we went to Alaska. Some of them right there in parkas, and I'm like, geez, guys, come on now.
That's great.
It's not that cold.
Right.
And that's why I hate to tell them, kids, like in football and basketball, many sports, they emulate what they see like NFL players and all of the tights and all of the stuff. That's why I always, in the last few years, I'm very careful about telling them what temperatures will be like at kickoff, because they will come out wearing this long, that long. Well, guys, it's only 79.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not 39, 79. And they'll wear all kind of extra stuff and hoodies and this and that. And like, come on. So, but yeah, it's going to be beautiful tomorrow night. The rain, excuse me, I've not looked at it since last night, but I think our chance is like none.
It's going to be a good forecast.
It's beautiful, and it'd be in the 50s probably by the end of the game, high 50s. Not a cloud in the sky. The wind will be blowing, slight breeze. Beautiful night for high school football. And as you know, we have Park Crossing, the closest public school there to us. Right down the road, literally right there. We'll be coming to town, and this should be our first time playing. It is a region matchup, and because we were off last week, you're always kind of, because you can lose a little mojo in those off. You can gain it or you can lose it. And but they did play last Friday in a tough loss to Selma at the very, very end of the game, and they're on a 20-game losing streak, and it makes them dangerous because they do have some players. And I don't think our kids, from everything I can gather, and you kind of hear them talk, they don't disrespect them or anything like that, because they know a lot of these kids.
Right.
They went to middle school with a lot of these kids. They're friends with a lot of these kids. So it's nothing like that, but it's dangerous. It can be kind of a trap coming out of a bye week, a trap type game. And again, they do have some players. Their quarterback is very, very tough. They run some option stuff from gun. They also do put the ball in the air. Defensively, they're they kind of run what our base defense is, a 3-4. So you got your 3 down linemen, your 4 backers, and a 2 shell over the top. And they're a little lighter than some of the defenses we faced, but they're moving. They're very, very quick and fast. So because we've not seen a lot of that, you don't know. We've been blocking a lot more bigger, burly guys that we match up with, and so there's some unknowns here.
Right.
And so it's going to be an interesting game, especially coming off the bye week, because we have tweaked some things in the bye week that we thought that we needed to do a better job at, and as like we talked about last week, you're 5 games in. And we have a chance to correct some things. We have a chance to take some things and make them, all right, let's bend this and let's run this out of this formation. Let's try this. So we've had some trying, and we've had some stuff where rip that page out, not doing that. That's not going to work. So we've had some trial and error. But it could be a trap game. It could be. So, and I believe our guys will be ready to rock. You could tell it by practice yesterday. Hey, these guys are tired of practicing against each other again. It's like preseason again.
Right.
Go 2 straight
They're ready
weeks.
to play again.
They're ready to play. And, but, we should be geared up, ready to go. Offensively, what we can, expect to see. We're always working hard at our pass game, and because we feel like we have to get better at that to be able to move forward. And after the first ball game, we lost TK, who was our leading receiver coming out of the first game. We've just sophomore, phenomenal player, and he gets his pins out in his hand this coming week, and one more week of therapy, and he'll be back.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. He had to have surgery, and it's nothing, no HIPAA violation of saying everybody knows it that knows him and knows it.
Right.
Because again, he has pins sticking out of his hand. It's pretty obvious, and he's not been out there. And such a great kid, and so we're gonna have him back in a couple weeks. And but we've taken some of our tools in our toolbox, some of our players, we've moved them around off the line, shuffle over, motion here, come out of there, to try to get them the ball in space, throwing the forward football pass. And so I'm interested to see that tomorrow night. We've worked really, really hard at it. And some other things where we've taken some formations of ours and tweaked them and put a little different spin, a little different look. I don't want to get into that yet.
Sure.
But we'll see it, tomorrow night. And O-line wise, we've done a little bit of shuffling. B.A. Ayrton, Brendan Ayrton will be at center tomorrow night, who's been playing guard. He's a big body. They have a big nose, who's really quick and fast. And, probably the closest nose to him is our nose, Buki. This guy's not as big as him, but he's very, very quick like Buki. And so he'll be at center, to kind of get us going there. And, our starters across the front, Juarez will be starting tomorrow night at right guard, and he's started on and off throughout the season. Let's see, Slayton Wortham at a right tackle, which he's, pretty much been there all year. Bell, has been starting on and off, and again, he broke his hand early and missed a few games. And early on in the season, and he's back, and he's a big body, strong body, young body, and then of course Vyson, at the left tackle, and so we're excited about that. Our backs are healthy. We're going into it with with Thornton AT, as everybody knows him, and DJ Williams, and obviously Anthony Rogers, and so we've tried to work it. We can get all three of them out there at one time, and that takes a little doing, to get them all on the field and be able to move here, move there, and boom, run a play. And so you don't know what you're going to get.
I like that.
Because all three of them are different,
right?
Anthony's top end speed and power. DJ is a zone guy, and AT is just that spark plug. Like a water bug.
A little shifty runner.
He's shifty, and if you'll notice, his yards per carry are very high,
right?
And he just comes in behind the line, and you don't see him. And next thing you know, he's in your linebackers running at full speed. So we've worked on some ways of getting all them guys out there at one time, and offensively, and since we didn't play last week, I'm talking just more personnel. Tormey, is our big 6'7" kid. We wanted to find a way to get him the ball better, and so we've got some things you'll see tomorrow night where we're moving him around in some different positions and a lot of motions with him to try to again use these tools we have. The 6'7" kid who has great hands. How can we get him the ball? And not just have him out wide every play.
Right.
How can we move him in and get him the ball? So we'll be moving him around a little bit, and we have added in a few things. So that was the beauty of the off week. And some of it's stuff we'd actually been working on a couple of weeks, but we had time. We didn't never run the games. We never refined it.
Right.
If that makes sense. And I'll just go into defense if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Defensively, across the front, we should be good with our normal guys. There was a great article this morning and I'm not a paper reader, but in the Montgomery Advertiser on Buki and Malik. A lot of people don't know they're brothers.
Okay.
And a great article on the two of them. And they're kind of a 1-2 punch. And Shamar Powell's at another end, and we've got some other D linemen that we use, like Josh Hurts and Gavin Rogers. And Gavin has had a great week of practice going against our ones, and he may even start tomorrow night off of, again, what he did, on our second defense against our one offense. I believe he's going to start tomorrow night. And, our backers, we kind of made some movement last week or the week against Eufaula of moving a safety down. And that to Sam Backer, and I believe that's was a good move. So our backers will be kind of similar to what we've been seeing. Our secondary will be kind of similar to what we've been seeing as far as personnel, and I'm excited because these guys, man. I mean, we've got 5 games left of regular season. Now we're playing for week 11, and the real math of it comes down to this: we have 4 region games left. you win any two of them, you're going to make the playoffs, okay, because, of who we've beaten already. But you win any two of them, you're going to make the playoffs. I mean, that's the math of it. You win three of them, you're going to have a home playoff game. That's the math of it. You win four of them, you're going to win the region. That's the math of it. So, and then we have Booker T, our last game of the year, at home. So we're home tomorrow night, all right, region game versus Park Crossing. Then we come back at home again versus Russell County, schools have never played before. I'm familiar with them. Dylan, I gave him his first job, and the head coach there, he's done a phenomenal job with them. And so, it's kind of like Jarrell. We've got a past, and he's done a phenomenal job. And then we'll go on the road to Stanhope, who's come alive here of recent. They're throwing the ball all over the place. Yeah. The quarterback, had a game we threw on 400 yards. I mean, so they're throwing the ball all over the place. And then we've got Carver, who's quarterback again, who's had some 350, 375-yard passing games. And so we've got our work cut out. But I'm looking ahead, talking ahead, but I don't look ahead. And the kids, of course, are not looking ahead. It all starts with tomorrow night. We've got to get this win under our belt against a region opponent who has a chip on their shoulder. They're trying to get that 20 loss. Teams that go on these losing streaks all have one thing in common. Nobody loses forever. They eventually beat somebody. There's no, in the history of the sport, there's no, this team never ever won a ball game.
Right.
They never won.
Yeah.
30 years, they never won a game. 0-300. That doesn't exist. Eventually, they beat somebody. And these guys have had a few close games where the ball just did not bounce their way at the end.
Right.
So they can beat people.
Yeah.
And the secret is we got to go out there tomorrow night and make sure they don't beat us.
Yeah. Coach, I had to actually live that reality, unfortunately, in high school. We went up against a team that had lost 18 games in a row. And as much as our coaches warned us, we came out, we were sloppy, we turned the ball over, we didn't bring and we lost. So, you've spent the bye weeks, and I love you walking through the different things y'all been working on just schematically and things like that. But how do you just keep dropping that message in their ear? To these guys, I've watched our guys. They never have an emotional letdown, but it's got to be in the back of their mind somewhere. These guys have lost 20 games in a row.
I don't know if they even knew it till I told them.
Okay.
Because, they haven't played them.
Okay.
And they're friends with them. I don't even know. And after I said it, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that. They probably would have never looked it up. And, they're 0-5 this year, and that's all they kind of would have went with. And they went 0-10 last year, and they lost the last 5 the year before.
But like you said, it's a close loss. These guys are, they're hungry.
They're getting better.
They're hungry.
They're definitely getting better. And, the battle cry has pretty much been like anybody. Hey, if we don't go out and play, we put the ball on the ground. It's a game of giveaways and takeaways.
That's right.
All of a sudden, you find yourself in this game, and that hungry team over there fighting for that first win, and you find yourself behind. And here we go. We got a problem on our hands.
Right.
And and our guys have heard me say this in the locker room, whether it was at Eufaula in the locker room, whether it was against Lanier. In life, hope is the greatest of things. Of everything that exists, hope is the greatest of things. To have hope in everything that you do, the people around you, and hope, in a church setting at Vaughn of an illness and hope of being, made new, and relationships. But there's one place where hope is the most dangerous thing, and it's a bad thing, and it's in football. When you're playing someone and you don't put them away,
right,
and you do that one thing, like let somebody run a kickoff right before half at Lanier.
Gives them some hope.
It gives them hope.
That's right.
Football hope is the dangerous of all hopes.
Yeah.
Great if you're the one with it. Bad when you're giving your hope to the other team.
That's right.
And, it's one of those things where I don't know where I'd heard that. I just came and I've been saying it for years and years. Big Shawshank Redemption fan, and it's based on hope. And I don't know how at one point I was like, hope it's the most, because, they're all about, it's the best of things. And it is, because I've thought about that a lot. But in football, it can be dangerous when you're giving your hope to somebody else.
Yeah.
And so, and those dangerous times are like right before half.
Yeah.
Or after a turnover and they first play get a score because you're discombobulated and you gave them some hope. So we cannot give them hope. And it goes back to what you just said about you get sloppy, turnovers. you're going to give people your hope.
Right.
And so that's what we've got to guard against. And to answer your question, I mean, we've just preached about us getting better. If you looked at our weekly plan, it said the same thing as last week. On Sunday, I send them, hey, this is our plan for the week. This time, in the morning, 7:50, we're dressed in this, and it's what we're doing. This time after school, we're dressed in this. This is what we're doing. And so they get it for the whole week right up to game time, to kickoff. And that way, parents, there's never confusion. Hey, we have JV on Monday. We're leaving at this time. Varsity, you'll still be practicing, blah, blah, blah. And on the side of it, and it's highlighted in green, I think it is, for this week, but it says it's all about them, explanation, or all about us, explanation. It's not about them.
Right.
It's not about them. This has been, and that's kind of been what we've been preaching. There wouldn't be a letdown. Just strictly, we've got to get better at these things. Let's not worry about them. Let's not worry about their record. Let's not worry about any of those things. We have just got to get better with us. All about us, not about them.
And I love that focus. And let's go ahead and put the link up. We've talked a few times about the game tomorrow night, 7 p.m., home game. We got a couple other things happening with the game. One, the blackout. Two, the new bleachers that we need to fill up. Let's talk about that. That's going to be a fun atmosphere.
Yes, tomorrow night's blackout night, and the uniforms have been my I don't know, the thorn in my finger since kids want to wear them all the time. And again, and my principal, Miss Manus, first day we ever walked in there, and I looked at the uniforms, and I said, I can't believe I'm going to coach a team that's got a basketball player on the football uniform. And it drives me crazy to see Florida and these people in Michigan with the little jump man. And I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. All right, just throw it out there. Greatest player played. Start that controversy. And
I'm with you on that.
We were talking about funny things before we started filming today.
No controversy on this show. Clear number one.
About just different things like, hey, we could talk about that and have a whatever, just being funny.
And just for the record, if you disagree with us, go watch The Last Dance on Netflix documentary, and then get back with me.
Then come
There's
to
a whole
us.
generation they didn't see what we saw, Coach. So we'll just throw that out for free.
It's crazy.
Okay, so we got the all blackout.
The jump man all black. We're wearing those tomorrow. Jiminy Crickets. And but the students doing a blackout too. Cheer, Coach Ball, our cheer coach, who's also the head softball coach. They kind of got that going. We got it on social media. It's a blackout. And to take it one step further, you mentioned it. There is 1,500 brand new seats on the other end, and we've got it divided where half will be us, half will be them. And come on out. If you're one of those folks, we talked about this last week. If you're one of those folks that I talked to when I first got the job about, hey, we kind of quit coming, there's nowhere to sit. We're having to stand. There's plenty of places to sit. Come tomorrow night. I promise you a great atmosphere. I promise you a great environment. Get there early. Because Mike Atkins, our O-line coach, said it best when the first time I was telling Shanda, my wife, what time to come. You either get here at 5:30 or you get here at 7:30. Mm-hmm. There will be no in betweens. and again, the first time we play at home, Marist, I've told this on the air. We're swapping quarters at the end of the first quarter, and I look up across there at them, and the cars are still lined up coming down the road into the game at the end of the first quarter. Yeah. So get there early. It's not going to be hot. It's not like those, preseason games where it was just smoking out there. It's going to be cool, a great environment. So get there early. Let's fill this place up. Let's fill our side up, and let's have a great environment, a great night for high school football, and like I say, I'm excited about it. So we do have things going on. Just to update too on middle school and JV. Middle school won again this last week against a great team in Beauregard. We won 14-6. So we're still undefeated there. Those guys are doing a phenomenal job. JV, we won, I believe it was 21-0. They're 4-0 also. They play again on Monday night at Booker T, which is not that far, from us over there on this side, Tuskegee. But we play Booker T at 5. The game will be at 5, not 5:30. And then the JV, that's middle school JV, is right after it. Okay. And then we will come back the next week for our last home game and last regular season schedule game for middle school and JV against Holtville. And then the middle school actually has a playoff. It's like a little league. The teams are in. JV will just be over with. And but success, as you know, with the church here, in things that you're successful in, success breeds success. The more things work, the more things work.
That's exactly right.
And with those guys winning, it's important. And it's not a win at all cost. With JV, we have everybody's going to play every game thing. With the middle school, there's 67 players out there. We've actually gotten pretty much every single human in every game except this last one. It was so close. And that's with a couple games. One game was 6-minute quarters, and that type of thing. So with that being said, success breeds success when they feel like, hey, everybody we play, we're going to beat. That's what we do. We just win, and that's a great thing for our future of this program. And those kids are the future. It's growing, and we got obviously growing pains because of it, and the size of things that we have. Because we're sitting in just an old junior high school. It's tiny. It was never made for this. So we got growing pains. But hey, I'd rather have growing pains than losing pains.
That's exactly right.
And we can work with growing pains, and but again. The main show's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So, I can't wait for us to tee it off. It seems like these 2 weeks have been an eternity. The worst time in football as a coach, there's two horrible days, and the one's really not a day, it's a time. The first, as any head coach you'll ask him, is picture day. Worst day ever. Hate it, worst day ever. All right, next thing is the time when you are waiting to go warm up for the game. That, as you know, that big chunk of time, school's out, you've eaten, you're keeping them busy, let's go meet, let's watch, go over some, and that is an eternity in education. In education, you're answering the bell. And when you're looking up there at that clock and there's 5 minutes left, that 5 minutes feels like 55 minutes. Yeah. It's the same way with this. Right. It's the most miserable time. And that's what these 2 weeks, me not being used to in-season bye weeks, that's what these 2 weeks have been like. We're just sitting there waiting for a game.
Right.
All right, come on, clock. Get to 7, get to 7, get to 7. Let's at least get out there. Let's get to 7. So that's been kind of not fun, but I know we've gotten better at some things, and I can't wait to get out there and showcase some things that we've added in offensively and defensively, and some younger guys that are going to get some PT tomorrow, just because they've been proving themselves at practice and in these JV games.
That's awesome. So you heard it, guys. Pike Road Patriot Nation, we need you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Here's the link to purchase your ticket. Coach shared lots of schematic things we've been working on, so it's going to be fun to see that live and in person. So we need a big turnout tomorrow night. If for whatever reason you can't be there live, you can always tune in at Pike Road Live on YouTube. But we will be there tomorrow night, Coach, to cheer on the Patriots. Thank you again for another great Brantley Bank Coaches Show.
Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate you so much, brother.
Yes, sir. Go Patriots.
Go Patriots.